My beloved brothers and sisters, sometimes the hearts that seem the furthest away are actually the closest to guidance. Sometimes the ones we least expect are the ones whose hearts are already searching for the truth. You see, guidance is not in our hands. It is not in the hands of wealth, status, power, or popularity. It is only in the hands of the one who created the hearts. When we hear stories of people who come from the heights of fame, from the pinnacle of worldly success, people who have everything that this world can offer, yet they still feel an emptiness, we must realize that this is the moment when Allah chooses to guide whom He wills. The world was left amazed when whispers began to spread that Angelina Jolie had shown deep interest in Islam. Some claimed she accepted it, some said she was moved by its principles. Whether or not the official labels are there is not what concerns us. What matters is the secret behind why someone like her would be drawn to Islam. Allah says in the Quran, whomsoever Allah guides, none can misguide, and whomsoever Allah leaves astray, none can guide. This verse is a powerful reminder for every one of us. It tells us that guidance is not in the hands of people. It is not in the hands of kings or presidents. It is not in the hands of celebrities or scholars. It is not in the hands of anyone except the Creator Himself. No matter how much people may try to mislead you, if Allah has chosen to guide you, they will never succeed. And no matter how much people try to pull someone towards the truth, if Allah has not yet chosen guidance for them, they will not come. This is the absolute power of Allah. It is Allah who opens hearts, and it is Allah who turns hearts. The hearts of mankind are between the fingers of the Most Merciful. He flips them as He wills. Sometimes we look at people who are far away from the teachings of the truth and we think this person can never change. This person is too far. This person is too deeply involved in a life of sin, in a life of disobedience, and yet the same person becomes a mountain of faith later on. We have seen stories, we have heard of people who spent years lost in the darkness, people whose lives were full of things that anger the Almighty, but suddenly they turn around. Suddenly they become sources of goodness, sources of inspiration, sources of light. Do you know why? Because when Allah guides, no one can misguide. It is not about your family name. It is not about where you were born. It is not about how you grew up. You can be born in the most religious household, yet you may never taste the sweetness of faith. You can be born far from Islam, but Allah can pull you so close that your heart beats only with His remembrance. And this is why we must never judge people. This is why we must never lose hope in anyone. Guidance is a gift. It is not something that can be bought. It is not something that can be forced. It is not something that is inherited. It is something that Allah places into the hearts of those He chooses. And if He has chosen you, it is the most precious gift you will ever receive. When a person's heart begins to search for the truth, the Creator promises to respond, and those who strive for us, we will surely guide them to our ways. It is a guarantee. If you are sincere in your search, if you are tired of the noise of this world, if you are exhausted from chasing things that never bring peace, and you begin to sincerely cry out, you begin to ask, you begin to search with an open heart, your Creator will never leave you lost. It does not matter who you are. It does not matter what you have done. It does not matter how long you have been away. The moment you begin your journey back to Him, He will guide you. Many people are running behind this life. They are chasing wealth. They are chasing fame. They are chasing status. And yet, they cannot find peace. Their hearts remain restless. They achieve one thing and they are already tired of it. They reach one milestone and they already want the next. Nothing satisfies the heart that is disconnected from its maker. The heart was created to remember Allah. The heart was not created to find peace in this world. The heart was created to find peace in the remembrance of Allah. When you feed the heart with everything but Allah, the heart remains hungry, it remains empty, it keeps searching. Some people think that by traveling the world, by building bigger houses, by buying faster cars, by earning more and more, they will find satisfaction. But the truth is that the heart is not fed by what you wear. The heart is not fed by what you drive. The heart is not fed by how many followers you have. The heart is fed when you turn to the one who created it. And sometimes people spend their entire lives feeding their bodies while starving their hearts. They take care of their appearance, their image, their reputation, but they forget to care for their soul. And this is why, even in the midst of luxury, many people cry themselves to sleep. When you find people whose hearts are searching, it does not matter where they come from. It does not matter what their past is. The Creator guides people from the darkest places. People who lived their lives far from Him, people who were even enemies of the truth, people who had no interest in the message, yet Allah opens their hearts in ways that even they cannot understand. There are people who were inspired by the simple smile of a Muslim, by the honesty of a businessman, by the patience of a mother, by the forgiveness of a stranger. One simple act can open the door to guidance. That is why it is so important to be a good example. Sometimes your kindness, your mercy, your patience is the very reason someone's heart begins to search. When a heart is sincerely searching for the truth, Allah sends the signs. Sometimes He sends signs through people. Sometimes He sends signs through hardship. Sometimes He sends signs through moments of deep reflection. You may be sitting alone at night wondering what the purpose of life is. You may be looking at the stars and realizing that this cannot all be random. You may be watching someone pray and you begin to feel a connection. These are the ways the Creator calls you. These are the subtle invitations. These are the moments when the door to guidance begins to open. And if you respond to that call, if you begin to walk towards Him, He will come rushing towards you. It is so beautiful to know that even if the entire world turns against you, if Allah guides you, you are still the winner. People may laugh at you, people may insult you, people may abandon you. But if Allah is pleased with you, it does not matter who is displeased. It does not matter how loud the noise of the world is. When Allah places light in your heart, that light will never be extinguished by the darkness around you. That is why we must hold firmly to the gift of guidance. It is not something to take lightly. It is not something to delay. It is not something to postpone. When Allah has opened your heart, you must protect it. Sometimes people ask, why certain people find guidance after so many years? Why does someone spend decades away and then suddenly they become committed, they become righteous? The answer is because Allah knows the perfect time. Allah knows when the heart is ready. Allah knows when you have seen enough of this world. Allah knows when you are prepared to accept the truth. And sometimes it is through heartbreak, it is through failure, it is through loss that you begin to realize how empty this world truly is. And that is when you begin to look beyond what you see. That is when you begin to look towards the unseen. And Allah guides you when your heart is truly ready. It is not about your knowledge, it is not about your intelligence, it is not about your connections. There are people who have memorized books, who have studied for years, but their hearts remain closed. And there are people who have just begun their journey, who know very little, but their hearts are open like the sky. It is not the amount of information that saves you, it is the sincerity of your heart. It is the humility that you carry. It is the genuine desire to submit to your Creator. And when you sincerely seek, you will certainly find. The beauty of this journey is that no matter where you start, you can always come closer. You can always take the next step. You can always return, even if you feel like you have gone too far. Sometimes people are made to feel as though they are unworthy, as though their past will prevent them from being accepted. But the Creator accepts those who turn to Him sincerely. He is not looking at your past. He is looking at your present heart. He is looking at the direction you are moving in now. You may have taken thousands of steps away, but the moment you turn back, He welcomes you. There is nothing more comforting than knowing that the door to guidance never closes until your final breath. Even if you have ignored the signs before, even if you have turned away in the past, even if you have doubted, you can still come back. You can still find the truth. You can still embrace the light. And when you do, you will find a peace that the world cannot give you. You will find a calmness in your heart that no wealth can buy. You will find a purpose that no title can match. And this is why those who find guidance often say they have found everything, even if they have lost everything else. The heart that searches with humility, with sincerity, with genuine desire will never be left abandoned. The Creator does not turn away the one who calls upon Him with a truthful heart. Even when you whisper in the dark, He hears you. Even when you shed tears that no one else sees, He sees you. Even when you stumble, He knows your struggle. He is closer to you than you can imagine. And when He guides you, no power on earth can block your path. Sometimes people wonder why the hearts of those who have seen the worst in life are the ones who find the strongest faith. When you have tasted the bitterness of this world, when you have witnessed the betrayal, the injustice, the pain, you begin to realize that the world will never truly satisfy you. You begin to realize that the peace you are searching for does not exist in material things. And that is when your heart turns upwards. That is when you begin to long for something greater, something eternal. And when you call upon the Creator, He responds. When you find Islam, when you find submission to the one who made you, you find clarity, you find structure, you find mercy, you find the reason behind your existence. You understand why the world is temporary, why tests come, why patience is necessary. You begin to see life with a different lens. You begin to focus on what truly matters. You begin to prepare for the meeting with the one who gave you life. And this is the real success. When Allah guides you, you will taste sweetness even in difficulty. You will feel peace even when you are surrounded by hardship. You will have light even when others are lost in darkness. Allah reminds us in the Quran, know well that it is only in the remembrance of Allah that hearts find rest. This verse is not just a statement, it is a reality. It is a key to understanding the emptiness that so many people feel despite having so much. The heart was created for Allah. The heart was designed to be connected to its maker. The heart was not created for this world. It was not made to be satisfied by wealth, by fame, by status, or by the temporary things that come and go. You can fill your house with gold, you can surround yourself with the finest cars, you can travel to the most beautiful places, but the heart will still feel hollow if it is not connected to Allah. People spend their entire lives chasing happiness through the wrong doors. They imagine that if they become successful, if they become rich, if they become popular, their hearts will finally be at peace. But instead, they find that the more they achieve, the more restless they become. They are searching for something that the world simply cannot provide. The heart cannot be filled with the dunya because the heart was not created for the dunya. It was created for Allah. When a person's heart is attached to Allah, everything else begins to make sense. Suddenly, even simple things bring joy. Suddenly, even the smallest blessings feel heavy with meaning. Suddenly the heart finds peace even if the pockets are empty. It is not about how much you own, it is about who you turn to. Some people try to fill their hearts with relationships. They move from one person to another, believing that the next person will finally complete them, but the heart is not a puzzle that someone else can complete. The heart can only be completed when it remembers its creator. Other people try to fill their hearts with entertainment. They keep themselves busy, distracted, always looking for the next movie, the next song, the next social media post. But no matter how much they consume, the emptiness returns. The noise fades and the silence of the heart remains. The heart is calling for something deeper, something eternal. It is calling for its Lord. Sometimes people try to silence the call of the heart by chasing sin. They drown themselves in temporary pleasures, thinking that it will make them happy, but after the moment passes, they feel more broken than before. Sin can never fill the heart. It only makes the cracks wider. It only increases the thirst. It only makes the heart heavier, more burdened, more distant. The peace they are searching for remains just out of reach because the heart is waiting for something else. When the remembrance of Allah enters the heart finds what it was created for. The peace that descends is not tied to circumstance. You can be surrounded by chaos, but your heart can still be calm. You can be going through a storm, but your heart can still be steady. You can have very little in your hands, but you will feel as though you have everything. This is the beauty of a heart connected to Allah. Some people have everything that others are chasing, but their hearts remain empty because they do not know the purpose of life. They do not know who they are. They do not know why they are here. They do not know where they are going. They smile in front of cameras, but they cry alone at night. They gather fans, but they cannot find friends. They build palaces, but they cannot find peace. They reach the top of the world, but they